Hey everyone! So I'm going to do the baby name game categories, baby category or name categories, and I'm gonna try to hurry because I know I talk a ton, so I'm gonna try to hurry, and I'm not hurrying now. So let's start. The first category is color names, and my girl color name is Lilac, which I mean, it's a pretty name. I probably would never use it as a name, Lilac, but it's a pale violet color. My next one is Cadet for the boy, and it's a shade of blue, Cadet blue. It's one of Crayola's shades, and it's like a blue with a hint of gray to it. My next one is Old Fashioned, and my girl is Phoebe, which I guess it's really not that old-fashioned because there's still people today with that name, but I think it's a pretty older type name, and I love it. I think it's gorgeous. And it's the most popular it's ever been was in 1880. My boy's name for old-fashioned is Henry, and I think Henry just makes me, I mean, I guess I could see it on somebody younger, but I normally picture it on an older person. It was extremely popular from 1880 to 1920. It was a really popular name. And Prince Harry, England Prince Harry, his real name is Henry, but he goes by Harry as a nickname. So that's cool. Random fact. My next one is literature, and my girl is Evangeline, which was first used in Henry W. Longfellow's story poem thing called Evangeline. And I think that's like the first time that it ever really came around, the name. And so I think Evangeline is just such a pretty name. And when I found out it was a literature name, I was really happy. And my boy's name is Caspian, which Caspian was created by C.S. Lewis for the book Prince Caspian, and it was used in a couple other of the Chronicles of Narnia books. And I love the name Caspian. It's one of my favorite names. I think it's just gorgeous. Okay, the next category is nature, and my girl name for nature is Ren. And if you ever watched Even Stevens, the oldest sister's name was Ren, and Ren is Japanese for water lily, so it does have to do with nature, but it's not too naturistic, like noticeably, unless you're Japanese, I guess. But Ren, it's really cute. And for a boy, I have Cam, which Cam is also, it's normally a nickname for Cameron, but this is just Cam, and it's Vietnamese for orange fruit. So I think Cam and Ren, both really cute names. The next category is gemstone, and for a girl I picked Ruby, and Ruby is like a blood red type gemstone, really red, but I love the name Ruby. It does kind of sound a bit dated to me, but I think Ruby's also just really, really cute, and I can picture it on a little girl, and I can picture it on an older woman too. My boy's name is Obsidian, which is a mineral type, it's like a rock basically. It's not really a gemstone, but there weren't really any gemstones that would work for a boy, so I picked Obsidian, mainly because it's actually on my list. It's on my name list, and it's a rock, so it kind of fit. Next is Trendy, and my first thought for Trendy was like popular names, but instead I decided I was just going to pick a trend that I have really gotten into recently, and that's place names. I've started to like place names a lot, and my girl's place name is Alcoa, and Alcoa is a city in my state, and I think it's just such a gorgeous name. Like, it would make such a pretty name for a girl, Alcoa, and it would also be a handsome boy's name, but I picked it for a girl here, Alcoa, and for a boy I picked Tellico, and Tellico is also a city in my state, Tellico Plains, and Tellico, I don't know, you could go by Tell or something like that, but I really, really like it, Tellico. And I know neither of them are names. They're both names I basically just decided to use as a name, but they are places, so it does work as a place name. The next one is Mythology. next category. And for a girl, I picked Echo. And Echo was a nymph in Greek mythology who was in love with some guy, and she like completely faded away except for her voice, and that's where we get the term Echo. And I think Echo would just make the prettiest name ever. It's also on my list. It's not like I was just looking for one. Echo's actually on my list, and I knew it was a Greek mythology term or name, so that's why I picked Echo. And for the boy, I picked Castor, and Castor is one of the Gemini twins, Pollux and Castor, and they're both from Greek mythology, and it was like, it's a weird story on how that came along, but Castor, I really like the name. I normally spell it with a K, but this is the one it's Castor's on my list with a K, but this is the one that mythology uses. The next category is biblical names. And my girl name is Eve, Adam and Eve. Everyone knows the story of Adam and Eve. Probably if you're not a Christian, you still know the story of Adam and Eve. Eve is just such a pretty name. I think it's short and sweet, but it's also like, I don't know, really cool sounding, Eve. And my boy's name is Hezekiah, King Hezekiah, and I know his story, but it's not coming to me at the moment. So, I've always loved the name Hezekiah. It's one of my favorite names. It's in my top 3 boys' names. I love Hezekiah. For Disney character, I had 2 girls because I just could not decide between the 2. And my first girl is Ellie Mae, which is from The Rescuers. And I think Ellie Mae is like one of the prettiest names ever. You can go by Ellie or Elle or Mae, but Ellie Mae, it's just really country sounding to me, southern sounding, and I think it's beautiful. My other one is Maggie, which is from Home on the Range, and I love the name Maggie. I used to hate it, but I actually have recently fallen in love with this name. I think it's really, really pretty. My boy's name is Flynn from Tangled, Flynn Rider, and I love the character because he's like one of the hottest cartoon characters ever. And I love the name Flynn. I think it's really, really cute.